Hey, what's up guys? Joe here with another episode of Chemical Guys Detail Garage. Today in the shop, I want to go ahead and address a lot of your guys' question, and that is, what do I need in order to detail my ride? Now, today I'm going to show you guys this awesome and convenient kit. This is our Chemical Guys Shine Starter Arsenal Wash Kit. Now, this kit is amazing because it features over 15 products that you'll need in order to go ahead and detail the exterior of your ride. So make sure to stay tuned to learn more. So this right here is our Chemical Guys Shine Starter Arsenal Wash Kit. Now this kit is great because, like I said, it pretty much gives you everything that you need in order to detail your exterior of your ride from A to Z. Comes with some of your fan favorites such as like butter wet wax, streak-free glass cleaner, sticky citrus wheel cleaner gel, foam blaster, bucket, dirt trap, pretty much anything and everything you need in order to use these products and in order to clean your ride. You can never have enough items to add to your Chemical Guys detailing arsenal. Sometimes a lot of these kits, they feature some products that maybe you've never used before, and this is a great introductory way to, like I said, add to your arsenal and try out some new products at the same time. So like I was mentioning, this kit pretty much comes with everything that you need in order to clean your entire ride. So the first thing you want to start off with is your wheels. You want to start off with the wheels because they're the most filthiest part of your car, and you want to clean them first because, as you can imagine, you don't want to go through the hard work of washing the entire vehicle and then waiting till the end to wash your wheels, and then all the gunk and grime that's on your wheels splatters when you rinse it with water and it goes all over the paint of your, the body of your vehicle. Then you're gonna have to wipe it down over again, and it's kind of redundant work. So start off with the dirtiest parts of your vehicle first and then work your way to the paint. So like I said, this kit comes with everything that we need in order to address our wheels. Today we're going to be using our Sticky Citrus Wheel Cleaner Gel, which is great because it's citrus based and it's a gel form, so it's going to give me that lubrication and that strength to break down heavy dirt and grime. Now these wheels are pretty much baked with brake dust, grime. I don't think these wheels have been cleaned in a while, so this is going to work out in our favor in order to go ahead and give this wheel a deep clean. We're also going to be using our flag tip brush, which is going to help us kind of agitate the surface to remove that loose dirt, debris, and grime, and our green Cyclone Dirt Trap. Now this right here is the filtration system for our bucket. As you can imagine, you're working with heavy contaminants, brake dust, grime that's on these wheels. This is going to help you filter that grime. So pretty much the way this works is it sets at the bottom of your bucket. On one side you have all these open holes, so that's going to help filter all the dirt and grime all through those holes. And then on the flip side, the pores and the holes are a lot tighter, so it's going to be a lot harder for that dirt to resurface, and it also creates an airtight suction at the bottom of your bucket. The way you want to use this is you simply dunk it in at an angle, set it down, and you pretty much set it down towards the bottom, add some pressure, make sure it's nice and locked in there, and that's it. It's as easy as that. The next thing you want to do is, I forgot to mention that this is our handle right here from our foam blaster. So not only is our foam blaster going to do great at foaming up the vehicle, you can actually use the handle itself to go ahead and give your your wheels and your vehicle a pre-rinse before you start foaming. So let's go ahead and pretty much give it a try. We'll go ahead and rinse off our wheels to remove any kind of loose dirt and debris. Yeah, that's got some pretty good power right there. Next on the list, we're going to be using our Sticky Citrus Wheel Cleaner Gel. So before you use this, you want to make sure you open it up. Open it up, and then you want to go ahead and pretty much cover the surface of your wheel. Now this works out great on the rim and the tire because it's citrus based, so it's going to break down heavy grime like I said. So all you want to do is give your wheel a nice coat. And the reason it's called Sticky Citrus Gel is because it literally clings onto the surface. Once you spray it on there, it does not go anywhere. It does not, pretty much slide right off the surface of the wheel. It stays on there and it breaks down that heavy grime. Next thing you want to do, dunk your brush into your your water solution. Get the bristles nice and moistened. And I like to spray my brush as well, just for added cleaning power. And then all you're going to do is pretty much agitate the surface of the wheel. Now remember, just like any other wheel cleanings, you want to start from the top and work your way towards the bottom. This is simply because, you don't want to clean the bottom, then go to the top and go back and forth, getting all that filth, because you can imagine this is gravity, goes from top to bottom, doesn't go, bottom up. So work your way from the top, work your way all the way around. And this is great because the bristles are extremely flexible, yet strong enough to agitate this heavy grime and debris that's sitting on this wheel. And it has a nice handle as well, so if it bangs onto the surface of the wheel, it's not going to scratch it, it's not going to scuff it. It's completely safe for that finish. And then you can always come back to your water bucket, just kind of wring it out, And with this brush and with the dirt trap, you kind of want to scrub it towards the surface of the dirt trap so it knocks off all the dirt and debris from the bristles of your brush off your brush, so that you don't get it back onto the surface of your wheel. Just like that, you got yourself a brand new brush again. So remember, spray just a little bit more solution, and then, like I said, work your way from the top, and then work your way around all the way to the bottom of the wheel. Now these wheels are pretty filthy. I don't know if you guys catch it on camera, but the foam on this tire from the sticky citrus gel is actually turning brown just because of the level of filth that it has. And that's one key thing that I do want to mention, that foaming potential that sticky citrus has in order to lubricate the finish of your wheels so that you don't scratch it up while you're scrubbing it with the brush. Me personally, I have glossy black wheels, and my choice of cleaner is sticky citrus because I get heavy brake dust, and I like the lubrication aspect that it gives me in order to safely clean my wheels without scratching them up. Like I said, that's your brush right there. I know I didn't show it the first time around, but check that out. It's all brown, it's gunky. So once you're done, dunk it back into your wash bucket with the water, and simply scrub it towards the surface of the dirt trap to knock off that loose dirt and debris from your brush, so that you don't let it sitting there, so the next time you clean your wheels or the next wheel that you clean, it's not going to go ahead and scratch up the finish. Check that out. Brand new brush again. Check out that water. It's brown, it's filthy, you got all that brake dust, that grime, whatever's been sitting on that tire for the past however long it's been that it's last been cleaned, it's now sitting in that bucket. So it's not gonna, it's not gonna be a risk for us to, clean the rest of the wheels without scratching them up. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this off so you guys can see these results. Check that out. Looks like a brand new tire. Well, almost. Just as great as a brand new tire, but you guys see the cleaning potential that sticky citrus has, and obviously it didn't scratch up the finish of the wheel. Works out great on all occasions, and it's safe for all wheel types. I'm gonna go ahead and proceed to clean the rest of the tires with sticky citrus wheel gel, and then I'll be back once we're done so that we can proceed to cleaning the body of the vehicle. All right guys, so now that we're done cleaning the wheels, we're gonna proceed to cleaning the vehicle now. So the first thing I wanna point out is our Foam Blaster 6. Now the Foam Blaster 6 works out great because it's gonna go ahead and blanket the vehicle in a thick, nice, rich, sudsy kind of soap to lubricate the surface and pull off any kind of loose dirt and debris from the surface so that we don't scratch up the finish when we go through our contact wash. So this right here works out great. And what better way to accompany it with a snow foam such as our watermelon snow foam. Watermelon snow foam is great because it's an ultra concentrated shampoo designed to foam up like crazy. Now when you join it with, like I said, a foam blaster, it's gonna go and give you like that nice thick rich suds so that you lubricate the finish so that you get that nice scratch free wash. So I'm gonna go and set that down. Now we're gonna go ahead and open up our foam blaster. Now the foam blaster, like I said, comes in 3 different pieces. So you guys saw the actual water hose nozzle right here when I first used it to rinse the wheels. Now we're gonna keep that on our garden hose and keep that on standby, and we're gonna go ahead and prepare our snow foam solution. So what you wanna do is, this bottle right here actually has a line that indicates where you should fill it up to soap with. These foam blasters, if you wanna eyeball it, it's usually equivalent to about 2 good pumps, or if you want to measure it with the measuring cup, 2 to 3 ounces, depending on the pressure that you receive at your household. So all I'm going to do is fill up with 2 ounces. That's equivalent to, like I said, 1 good squirt, 2 good squirts, and that's about it. We're going to set that down. We're going to throw our top onto here. We're going to screw that on. And then you don't want to shake it, you want to stir it. So stir it nicely so that it pretty much mixes in with the water, because you don't want it to foam up inside the bottle. You actually want it to mix in there so that when the water pressurizes and it mixes with the air, it's gonna go ahead and give you that nice, thick, rich blanket of foam. So just make sure you stir it in there and you're good to go. One cool feature about this foam blaster is at the top, you actually have these dials. Now these dials actually let you control the soap ratio that you're shooting. So let's say per se you wanna wash 2 whole vehicles. I would say keep it at about 1 or 2. That's gonna give you more of like a sudsy kind of soap, where if you want more of a thick, rich kind of foam, I would throw it on 5. 5 is gonna give you that nice, thick, rich blanket of foam. You can always play with it, play around with it, see which settings work out best for your pressure at your household in order for you to get that best clean possible. The last thing I do want to mention is your sprayer tip. Now this tip is detachable and you can actually spray this in a vertical and a horizontal way. Me personally, I like shooting it vertically just because as I walk throughout the vehicle, I'm pretty much covering it from top to bottom, and I get that nice action from top to bottom, from left to right. So it pretty much covers the entire vehicle nicely and easily. If you're working on like a wider truck, maybe it might be a better option for you to go and throw it on the wide setting so that you get more of a wider spread, so that you don't have to go left to right. Instead, you can just go up and down pretty much. So I'm gonna, like I said, put that in a vertical manner, pop that right in. And the cool thing about this is, since you already had your garden hose plugged in, all you're gonna do is pull this back. It does have a quick release. Pull it back, pop that in, you're good to go. You're good to start foaming. So now that we have our foam blaster ready, I'm gonna go and set that down for a second. And I wanna talk about our last item here, which is gonna be our Chemical Guys chenille microfiber wash mitt. Now this wash mitt is great because of the chenille noodles that it has. Now these noodles work out amazing for your paint because it's gonna pretty much massage it. It's gonna remove that level of dirt, grime, and filth safely and sound without it dragging over the paintwork. Lastly, this wash mitt does come with our new design, which has the Chemical Guys banding so that you can show your passion as you're washing your vehicle. Before we hop into the fun, I did jump the gun a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much get my snow foam, add an ounce to my wash solution, and activate the suds for that extra layer of lubrication. So all you wanna do is, like I said, you wanna measure it. If not, give it a good squirt. That's it. Get your wash gun right here. And then you're gonna activate your suds by simply spraying it with the high pressure nozzle. Ready to go. Next step is we're gonna go ahead and rinse off the vehicle from any kind of loose dirt and debris. I'm gonna get my wash mitt, dunk it in my soap bucket to pre-saturate it, and then we're gonna go ahead and foam up the vehicle, and I'll show you guys how to wipe down your vehicle safely so that you don't install any scratches or swirls. Now, a foam blaster is great because there's no need for any type of pressure washer. It hooks up straight and direct to your garden hose, which means that you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars for an expensive pressure washer, and or have to have a noise complaint from your neighbor from it being so loud. One thing I forgot to mention is that we are washing outdoors in direct sunlight. That's completely safe to do because we're using deionized water, which is filtered, which doesn't have any minerals, which means that we're not going to get any water spots. And secondly, because our soap is pH neutral, which also means that it's not acidic. So if it dries up on the surface, it's not going to, remove any kind of waxes, layers of glaze, sealant, or anything like that from the paint without it stripping the paint or leaving any stains behind or residue. All right guys, so now that we're done foaming the car, we're gonna proceed to washing it with the wash mitt. So now we're gonna go ahead and get our wash mitt from our bucket, which has already been pre-saturated with the soap. And I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some foam, let it kind of lather on there. And whenever you're washing your vehicle, you wanna start from top to the bottom. You wanna work on the top so that you don't bring any of the grime from the top to the bottom or vice versa. You don't want to be working from the bottom, clean the bottom, come to the top and have it droop down, because then you're going to be pretty much working redundantly. So top to bottom, straight even strokes. I usually start from the back glass and I work my way to the front windshield. Same thing, come back over here, nice straight strokes. And you can pretty much mimic this whole process throughout the entire vehicle, and come back to your wash bucket anytime you need to pretty much reload on some fresh foam. And like I said, we're gonna be working it in straight motions. You can also flip your wash mitt as well to use the other side so that you're not constantly going back and forth from your wash solution back to the vehicle. And going in a straight motion is pretty much gonna minimize the chance of installing a swirl mark, which pretty much is a circular scratch, which pretty much comes from improper wash techniques. So if you're wiping the car, your wash mitt is filthy, it's grimy, or there's a lot of dirt on the car, you could potentially scratch it up with the dirt that's on there. So make sure you have your dirt trap in your bucket and you're going back and forth with fresh water, dunking your wash mitt in there so that you reduce the chance of scratching your vehicle. I'm gonna go ahead and proceed with washing the rest of the vehicle, and I'll be back once it's rinsed off and dry so we can show you guys what's left in this kit to go ahead and detail your ride and get it as good as new. All right guys, so now that we're done cleaning the wheels, we've washed the car, we've dried the car, and now we're gonna proceed to cleaning the glass. Now, in order to achieve a streak-free glass, you're gonna have to use a streak-free glass cleaner such as streak-free. So streak-free glass cleaner works out amazing at cleaning glass because it delivers a full shine clarity. You have full clarity out of your glass. It does not have any streaks or any kind of additives that are gonna streak behind or leave any kind of film or residue left behind. So to use that, I'm gonna be using a fresh pack of towels today. So my recommendation for the ultimate streak-free glass is to use 2 different towels. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab 2. Now these are high quality microfiber blend towels. They're super soft, they're nice and plush, and they're not gonna scratch your glass and or any other part of your vehicle. So like I said, I usually recommend using the 2 towel method. So pretty much what that means is I'm gonna set 1 towel down. I'm gonna open up my towel, and what I highly recommend is you take off the tag on your towel. So you simply just wanna nip that right off, and you wanna take off any kind of leftover pieces of the tag, just because you don't want that to scratch your glass. Next on the list, you want to go ahead and pretty much fold it into a nice square. And I'll go ahead and do that with my other towel as well. I'll take off the actual tag. Take off the tag. You can put that to the side, store it for later, or throw it in the trash. Fold it into a square, and you're good to go. So the first towel you want to dedicate for the wipe. So what I mean by that is you want to get your glass cleaner. You want to spray directly onto the glass and or directly onto the towel, which I'm going to do both. So I'm going to spray the glass. And I'm also going to spray directly onto my towel just to get that added layer of lubrication and that clean. And then I'm going to grab my other towel, have it on hand. I'm going to wipe with my wet towel that has the product already on it. And remember, straight motions. I usually go left to right on my exterior glass. And then I usually follow it up with the secondary towel just to pick up any remaining kind of grime that may be left onto the glass. Like I said, streak-free does such an amazing job at cleaning the glass that it doesn't even leave any kind of streaks or films left behind during the first initial wipe. But I always like to follow it up with secondary wipe just to pick up any kind of grime, like I said. Another great thing about streak-free is that it does not contain ammonia. That means that you can use it on your window tints and safely clean your tints without it damaging it or discoloring it. So, like I said, spray directly onto the glass. And you can always spray directly onto the towel if you would like as well, just to be in control of the product. So you can use it on your tinted glass, and it's completely safe for the glass. So, you know, over time, through multiple uses, it's not going to damage it, it's not going to discolor it, and it's not going to leave any kind of films on there that's going to potentially leave it looking nasty. So like I said, grab your secondary towel, buff off any excess, and you got yourself a streak-free glass. Check that out. All right, so for our next step, now we're gonna move on to protecting our paint. So we've washed the car, we've cleaned our glass. Now we're gonna go ahead and protect all that work that we've just done by using our butter wet wax, carnauba wax. Now, butter wet wax is a carnauba-based wax, which is gonna enhance the shine, increase the depth, and protect the finish of the paint. Now, it's gonna do that by pretty much filling in the pores of the paint with the layer of that carnauba oil, which is gonna go ahead and make that paint just pop, give it that nice gloss, that depth, and give it that ultra layer over it so that any kind of contaminants, such as dirt, grime, water spots, any kind of industrial fallout, doesn't damage the finish of your paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my applicators here. Now, these are premium grade microfiber applicators. So they're pretty much gonna match the same softness and, you know, plushness of the microfiber towels that we use for cleaning the glass. So remember, take off your tag whenever using these applicators. Take that right off. And now we're gonna go to proceed to waxing the paint with using our butter wet wax. So now that we're gonna wax the car, I'm gonna show you guys how to properly apply the wax without oversaturating the product or applying too less of it. So what you wanna do is, I usually start off with about 4 dots. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll set that down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blotch it onto a panel. So we're gonna be working on this quarter panel here. So I usually like to start from the top and then kind of spread it out throughout the panel. And then I'll start off where I first originated, and I'll pretty much spread the product. And you'll see how butter wet wax literally just melts into the paint. That's why it's called butter wet wax, because as you're applying it to the actual paint, it just melts and it pretty much stretches to cover the entire panel, so that you're not there overly applying the product. You're not using a watered down product. This is a concentrated carnauba wax that's going to go ahead and nicely spread throughout the surface, give it that nice coating, and pretty much make your life a breeze as far as like applying the wax itself. And you'll see as I'm applying it, I try to go in straight motions, just like how we did our wash technique. You want to make sure that you're doing it in straight motions, just because if I were to potentially grab on into anything on the paint, let's say like, you're doing this outside, kind of like how I am here, and there's a tree nearby, and then a twig falls and it lands on your paint, and then it lands on your applicator, and then you're pretty much mimicking that swirl motion throughout the entire vehicle. So that's why we recommend going into straight motions, so that you're never caught with something like a contaminant that's caught onto your microfiber applicator that's going to make you scratch up the entire rest of your vehicle. So now that I'm pretty much done here with the paint, like I said, I usually like to go up and down, left and right, and this just pretty much allows me to know that I'm doing a nice uniform coat throughout the panel. So like I said, one, I'm not wasting my product, and two, it's not going to be a pain for me to go ahead and wipe this off once it has pretty much flashed. Another great thing about butter wet wax is that not only can you use it on paint, but you can use it on other glossy surfaces such as the glass. You can use it on your headlights, your wheels, and much more. If you have any kind of glossy plastics, chrome accents around the vehicle, on chrome as well, throw a coat of butter wet wax on there to go ahead and enhance the shine and protect the finish. So like I said, for the glass, I'm just going to go ahead and blot out one dot of product, and I'm going to go ahead and pretty much spread it onto this glass. Now what is this going to do for my glass? Now this is going to go ahead and pretty much leave a layer of protection over the glass, so that any kind of water, such as if you're driving through inclement weather, it's not going to go ahead and stick to the surface. It's going to go ahead and bead off, and at high speeds it's just going to roll off the surface when you're going at the high speed. So now that we're done, we've coated the glass, we've coated the paint. Now you want to usually let it sit for like about, give it anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 minutes to go ahead and sit on the paint. Butter wet wax is so great that you can actually just apply it and within about 2 minutes, wipe it right off. So I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for about 5 minutes or so, and we'll be back once it's cured. All right, so now that it's been about 5 minutes since the wax has been sitting on there, I'm going to go ahead and set it down. And now we're going to go ahead and proceed to removing it with our last microfiber towel. Now you'll know that the butter wet wax has cured when it kind of turns kind of like to a white haze. You can grab your microfiber towel, fold it into fours, and it's just gonna wipe right off. So check this out. It wipes right off, no problem. Does not leave any streaks, does not leave any smears. All that it leaves behind is that crystal clarity, that depth, that shine, and that protection that this paint should have and should look like. Check this out. I'm not running out of breath here trying to remove it. It wipes right off like no problem. Butter wet wax itself, I forgot to mention that it does clean your paint as well. So if you have like light films of oxidation, if you have any kind of like light water spots, stuff like that that's on the paint, over the paint, scuff marks, any kind of paint transfer, butter wet wax is great because it removes it nice and easily. All you got to do is apply a few drops into a microfiber applicator and agitate it. So whenever you get caught with like tree sap on your paint, any kind of paint overspray, my best recommendation is to try out butter wet wax on your first before reaching out to a professional or doing any kind of polishing work. Butter wet wax is truly a lifesaver, so that you may or may not even have to go that that extensive of a route in order to restore your paint. So just like that, we're done. The paint, it looks amazing. That black is back, it's shining, it looks back in its its best glory. It looks like someone just bought it off the lot. And the paint is actually super slick, so any kind of water, dirt, dust, debris, it does not want to stick to the surface just because of the repellency that butter wet wax leaves onto the surface of your paint. So I forgot to buff it off the glass here as well. Like I said, it's going to pretty much give you a deeper clarity for your glass. You can see me right there on camera. Wipe it right off, and boom. Your glass is protected, your paint is protected, and like I said, you can also apply this to any glossy surfaces around the car, such as your wheels, the headlights, tail lights, glossy plastics, chrome trims, you name it. All right guys, and for our final product in our Shine Starter Arsenal Wash Kit is going to be G6 Hypercoat. G6 Hypercoat is a water-based dressing designed to enhance any kind of vinyl, rubber, and plastic trims on the interior or exterior of the vehicle to give it a deep conditioning and coat of UV protection. So right now I'm going to go ahead and prepare to apply a coat of G6 Hypercoat onto this tire. But before I do so, I'm going to actually mask it off with a piece of tape so you guys can see a difference of what a conditioned and protected tire looks like versus an unconditioned side on this tire. So hopefully that sticks. There you go. No problem. So as you guys remember, my last applicator I used for the butterwheel wax. Now this is my last applicator. This is the one I'm going to use to apply my tire shine. So what you want to do is you pretty much want to spray directly onto the applicator itself. I do not recommend spraying directly onto the tire because what happens is you spray directly and it falls into the grooves of the tire and you don't really spread that product out, so when you drive it just kind of flings off on you. So spray directly into your microfiber applicator and then apply as so. You want to just pretty much apply from left to right. There's really no other way to apply it. Just make sure you get a nice even coat. Now, G6 Hypercoat is great because, like I said, it's a water-based product, which means that once I apply this product and I let it dry, it's gonna stay the way it is. It's not gonna have any kind of oily film or any kind of greasy residue. It's going to be completely dry to the touch, and like I said, you can also use this on your interior. So you want to use a product like a water-based dressing on your interior so that you're not using an oily product. The last thing you want to worry about is having an oily interior. So once you're done applying that onto there, check this out. I removed this piece of tape. The product did kind of get under there. So you can see the difference already. I'm going to proceed to, applying it to the rest of the tire, just so that we get a nice uniform kind of coat onto this tire. It gives it a brand new look, it gives it a nice definition, brings out that blackness of the tire so it doesn't look all brown and faded or anything like that. Like I said, not only does it look great, but it protects it so that your tires don't get dry, they don't get all cracked up and flaky, and prematurely have to swap out your tires just because you didn't care for them. So check that out. The tire looks amazing. That shine is immaculate. I really enjoy using G6 Hypercoat, and like I said, not only can you use this on your tires, but any kind of other vinyl, rubber, plastic trims on the exterior. So any kind of rubber, plastic trims that you have by your hood, by the doors, and the bumper, front bumper, any of those areas, the grills, if you have any of those that are plastic, apply it on there, give it that deep coat of conditioning and that protection. All right guys, now that's going to conclude our detail on this Lexus today. Like I mentioned, this kit, the Chemical Guys Shine Starter Arsenal Wash Kit, does an amazing job at tackling all those exterior parts of your vehicle to get that full deep detailing job. My name is Joey. This is Chemical Guys Detail Garage. We'll see you guys next time.